Good morning, my name is Jenna, and this is a yin style grounding yoga practice for you to start your day. Yin meaning fewer postures, we hold them for a little bit longer. I am going to use a bolster for this practice for a few postures. If you don't have one, you could use a couple of pillows from your bed or even a couch cushion would work. Let's go. All right, so let's start today's practice with those supports, your pillows, your bolster. Scooch it towards your lower back and lay your spine, your upper body out over top of it. We'll get a heart and chest opener to start. A couple of options for your legs. You can take the soles of the feet together, drop the knees open wide. Press the feet down into the mat, rest the knees towards each other. Or, final option, stretch the legs out long. And take your arms a bit away from your body, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Feel a broadness across your collarbones and across your chest. Start to take a few long, deep, full breaths here, in and out. You can close your eyes. Let the weight of your head fall back, soften the eyes. Relax your teeth apart. Even drop the tongue down from the roof of your mouth. A few more steadying breaths here this morning. You can start to roll the ankles around, roll the wrists around, and go both in the opposite direction. Spread your fingers wide, spread your toes wide, and then soften the feet, toes, arches, soften the palms, fingers, hands. Let's take one more full breath here. Nice. And then pull the arms back in, feet down on the mat, roll yourself off the bolster to one side. Come on up into a seated position. So we just did a mini supported back bend. Let's do a counter pose here. I'm not going to use my bolster for this one. Make a diamond shape. Soles of the feet come together. Find some length along your spine first. We will round and fold into it, but take your breath. Find your length along your spine. Start to crawl yourself forward any amount. Walking the hands out. Maybe resting on the legs or down out in front of you. You can turn the palms up towards the sky again. And then really slowly drop the head down. Let yourself ease into this shape, into this pose. We'll be here a minute or so. Again, you can soften the eyes, smooth out the breath. And these yin style postures don't happen all at once. They sort of begin as we transition in. We find the edge of it. We find stillness. And then we slowly transition back out. So start to slow down your breath, slow down your mind. Drop in here. And if your body is really starting to soften in, you might even crawl the hands out a bit further. Take a deeper breath. As you exhale, settle in even more. And that might mean, just a millimeter. But that's a lot in terms of stretch and flexibility. So go the millimeter, drop in again. Take 3 or 4 more breaths here. And just as slowly as you came into this pose, start to put some pressure back into the palms, hands, slowly transition out of it into that tall seat again. Lift through the spine, take a deep breath. And then scoop up the knees, bring them back towards each other. You can flatten the feet down, hug around the knees, drop the forehead in. Sway yourself gently to the left, gently to the right. And come on up, and we'll switch to our next yin posture. It's a supported twist. So I'm going to use my bolster for this one. Come onto your right hip, legs tucked towards you. And I'm going to really pull this right towards me so it's touching my outer right hip. Turn your torso towards the pillows or the bolster and then walk yourself out over top of it. Your hands can frame either edge of it. And then looking up to be a little more easy on the neck, look to the left, rest your right side of your head and face onto the bolster. If you want a bit more of a stretch through the neck, you can turn the gaze in the opposite direction, resting your left cheek and temple down. And you might try both and see what works best for your cervical spine, for your neck today. I'm going to look to the left. Let the legs relax, even if they slip away from you a little bit, that's okay. Soften the hands, close the eyes. Let's take a few breaths here. Okay, we're going to slowly start to come back out gently, easily. Lift yourself back upright. And at home, you can just switch to the other side. I want to face you, so I'm going to move my bolster to the other side of the mat. Come onto your left hip, your left side with your legs tucked in towards you. Pull that bolster right up towards the lower left hip and then turn yourself to face it. Crawl the body out over top of it. And again, you can test here what feels best for you, either looking to the left or looking to the right. And start to let the weight of your whole body really rest down into the bolster. Frame it with your hands. Relax the hands. Let the legs relax completely, including your feet and your glutes. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Okay, and slowly again, press into the hands. Come on back up, come on back out. You can push the bolster aside for now and lay yourself back down onto your back. Okay, feet down on the mat. Walk the feet a bit wide, like as wide as your yoga mat. Rest your knees towards each other. Bring one hand onto the center of the rib cage at your solar plexus, one hand onto the low abdomen. A few deep breaths here. Let the spine and the ribs and the shoulder blades kind of settle into that firmer surface beneath you. Nice. And then we'll pull the knees in towards the chest, give them a squeeze. Lift the forehead up to the knees, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Get tiny, like this tiny little ball. Might be able to kiss your knees. Okay, lower the forehead back down, widen the knees apart, and then grab for the outer edges of your feet for happy baby. You can, looks like the feet are standing on the ceiling. You're working towards forearms and shin bones being parallel. Pull the knees back and down. Hang out here for a few breaths. You can do a really gentle kind of side to side rocking motion here as if you're massaging through that kidney, kind of QL lower back area. Just let the head fall side to side as well. Adding your breath, slow and steady. Okay, and after a few more rocks, come to stillness. One of the true qualities of yin practice is stillness, steadiness. Slowly release the feet back down. Arms come down by your side. Press into the feet. Lift the hips up. Give them a little gentle shake out. Releasing that steady, still hold. And then lower the hips back down. Turn over onto your tummy. And we'll come into Sphinx pose for a few breaths here. Elbows are right underneath the shoulders. Point the toes back. Give a gentle press of the pubic bone down into the mat. Spread the fingers out. Really press down through the elbows so that the heart and the lungs lift up. Tuck the chin slightly. 2 or 3 breaths here. Let it stretch your front body gently and give you a nice morning back bend. Okay, really slowly come out of it. Forehead down to the mat. You can make a little pillow for your forehead with your hands. Bend your knees. Drop the knees and feet over to the right, over to the left. Like windshield wipers. Let the hips move side to side. Okay, straighten the legs out again, and then we'll do another floor posture or two here. Take your left hand as a pillow for your left temple. The right arm out to the right, bent at the elbow. We're going to keep the left leg straight and froggy leg the right knee out. It'll be at about hip height, resting down on the ground. Make yourself comfortable here. Breathe a few breaths into the chest and the upper back and really soften down. Let the front body rest down. Okay, slowly transition over to the other side. Straighten the right leg. Froggy style the left leg. You can use your right arm as a little pillow for your right temple. And the left arm will support you where you are, and settle back down. Settle back in. These front forward, front down postures are really soothing to the nervous system. So take about 5 breaths here. And our last posture is child's pose. You can decide to use your pillows or your bolster or not. If you need and want a little more of a stretch through the low back, keep the knees closer together and then reach the arms all the way out. Drop the forehead down. If you want to feel in your nervous system, a little more support. You know, if you just in general feel like you could use a bit of support, use a support. It's helpful. Crawl yourself over top of it, knees are a bit wider. You can kind of hug around it and drop one cheek down or your forehead down and rest that way. Take a few breaths. Switch your breath here. Now go in through the nose and drop it out through the mouth. All right, slowly lift yourself back up. We'll finish practice this morning in a seated position. Find anything that's comfortable, anything at all, and come into a tall spine. Rest your palms down. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Okay, and then palms to the heart. Tuck your forehead down towards your fingertips and really tune in and bow in towards the center of yourself here, honoring you right here and right now, honoring your practice in preparation for this day. Thank you for practicing with me here this morning. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. See you next time.